Fine with an individual who is currently incarcerated. Will you please state your name?
My name is Ricky Grundy.
Okay, and where are you incarcerated?
I'm currently in Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla, Washington.
And why were you convicted?
I was convicted for human trafficking. I got 22 years for human trafficking.
Okay, now you have something that you would like the public to know. Will you go ahead and tell us what you would like us to know?
Right. So I can't narrow down a singular moment in my life that led me to this point, but there's a period of time that kind of flipped my life upside down, and I'm just now beginning to peel back the layers to understand how the trauma I experienced as a youth may have affected my life. So when I was about maybe 14, 15 years old, my father went to prison himself in Nevada. Now let's be clear, I'm from Washington. I have no family, no relatives that live in Nevada. But because of my dad's profession, we moved to Las Vegas. And he ended up getting in trouble. He ended up going to prison himself. Almost for the identical reason why I'm in prison myself right now. But so he's in prison, and I come home from school one day, and my key doesn't work. So I knock on the door. Nobody answers the door. I go around the back door. Nobody answers. The second story window opens, and it's my dad's women. He had 2 women at the time. They basically raised me. They were probably in my life about 13, 14 years. And they said, "Little Ricky, you don't live here anymore." And I said, "What?" They said, "You don't live here anymore. And if you don't leave, we're going to call the police." So I'm kind of like, I'm shocked, I'm stunned. I couldn't really understand what was going on. But in hindsight, I realized that these women who had been with my father since they were teenage girls and had been in the life of prostitution and dancing and all of those things. The only way to get away from my father was to get away from me. And so that kind of left me homeless. You know, I went from being an athlete, a student, I was never understanding of anything in the streets. I never sold drugs. I never was a gang member. I never was a pimp. I never had robbery. I never did anything illegal in my life up to that point. But now here I am in Vegas, homeless, no family, just a couple friends. And I'm trying to figure out life. I'm trying to survive. And then I learned, how cruel it would be and how cold things can be out there. And when it's time to survive, what you would do to survive. You know what I mean? And so that kind of took a drastic, it was really drastic in my life at that time, I went from basically being a spoiled kid, having everything I wanted, to selling drugs and running with gang members and being homeless for like 10 months. And I say about a year into that situation, a white Toyota Tundra pulls up on the same block that me and my friends are thugging and selling drugs, trying to survive, trying to figure out life. And the man says, "Does anybody here know a Ricky Grundy?" And that caught my ear. That man was my uncle. He had just came off of prison himself, and he had heard what happened about my situation. He came to get me. And that next day, I was living in Los Angeles, California, with family members that I really didn't know. I had no clue of who they were. They didn't grow up with them my whole life. It was just me and my father. And so now I'm going to another high school. It's probably my fifth high school. Since I've been in high school, I'm only a sophomore. But things there go sour as well. Things turned sideways. Me and my uncle ended up getting to it. We had a disagreement, and he put me out. So now I am in another foreign land, homeless, running around the streets of Los Angeles, being exposed to more things, more ways to survive. And I think those things really had an effect on me, It really changed the way that I looked at and perceived life to be. I thought things was one way, and then my life turned out to be another way. I never envisioned myself being in prison, committing crimes. As a child, I had dreams of playing football and taking care of my family, So from that point, trying to take it out, and I get a hold of my mom. My mom is, at the time, is still living in Washington. She's from Seattle, Washington. And I got a hold of her, and she said, "Son, you want to live with me?" And I said, "Sure." So I came back to Washington, and I had a clear understanding of what I'd been through and how it affected my life. But when I came here, I was wild. I really didn't have understanding. I was hurt. I had been abandoned. I had been left behind. I had been betrayed, deceived. And these are all things that were new to me, you know? And within a year, I was in prison myself, right, for assault charges. And then that was a whole other lesson. I had to learn whole other ebbs and flows and trials and tribulations of life, and I had to adjust to and figure out, well, where do I go from here? You know, and it kind of set my life on the tailspin. And if anybody, you know, has been through similar situations, you know, maybe we could pills and figure out how do we use our past as a classroom to teach the youth or to teach the peers, you know, how to get through these things, you know. So I just wanted the people to know I've never ever told anybody that story before, not even my mother, you know. But I believe by attitudes, you know, we decide how our life goes, regardless of what we've been through. We make the decision, you know. We decide to try or to give up. You know, by our attitudes, we blame ourselves for our failures, or we blame others for our failures. Our attitudes determine whether love or hate is in our lives. Whether we tell the truth, lie, act or procrastinate, advance or receive, these are all things that we determine by our attitudes. And by our attitudes alone, we actually decide whether to succeed or to fail. Muhammad always said, if you're the same man now that you were 10 years ago, then you wasted 10 years of your life. And I think it's important for people to know that I'm not the same man I was 10 years ago. That I've changed, I've grown, I've matured into a better man, a man dedicated to thinking right, speaking right, and doing right. And I'm coming home to be a better father and son and a better citizen. I got 2 beautiful daughters, Nice and Payana, that I love. I got a lot of work to do there. I've been incarcerated their entire lives almost. I got a mother who's been by my side that I love dearly, unconditionally. I want to be there for her. And I want to get back to the basics of life. I've never experienced the basics of life, you know. Whether it was by my fault or by things that were not in my control as a youth, I've never given myself the opportunity to experience happiness and joy in my life. And at this moment, that's what I'm choosing. I'm choosing happiness. I'm choosing joy. I want success. You know, and if you ask somebody what success looks like, for me, I've been incarcerated almost my entire adult life. So success for me was just to stay free. I just want to be free. Freedom and comfort. You know, the right to choose what do I want to do today. Right? Do I want to go down here and help somebody? Do I want to help myself? Do I want to teach, assist? These are all things that I contemplate daily in my life. Sitting in prison, like I said before, I've been incarcerated 10 years. I got 9 years to go, and I'm a work in progress. So, for anybody out there who thinks that people only get 1 or 2 chances in life, we all know that's not true. I think you should get as many chances as you deserve. As long as you want to work hard, stay dedicated and patient, hungry and humble, you should have a chance to live the life that you deserve. And you deserve whatever it is that you desire, you know. So, I just want the world to know that. I want to thank Joel for giving me a safe space to speak my mind. Thank you, DeMar, for hooking me up with Joel. And all is well. You know, thank you for your time and peace and love to all. That's what I have to say.